Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all our audiences right across the single world and across the Spanglish World Network, H.E.R Network, Spanglish World Network, and La Ronda del Dia. We welcome you to another edition of Open Forum. Remember to please go to the respective app stores of iOS and Android to download the single app where you can watch all the programming that they have to offer and all the programming that Spanglish World Networks have to offer as well. Remember, this broadcast is being transmitted on single channels 250 and 251. Remember as well to leave us a brief comment and a rating for this show and other shows that we have on the network. Remember to let us know if you want something that you want to bring on. We'll find it for you. You asked for mediums. We went out and got Jacqueline here. You asked for parenthood. We went, as you saw in the show before that we did, we got Laura Ollinger. Remember as well that Single TV can be acquired across Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Amazon Fire TV sticks, Roku and Roku sticks, and all smart TVs 2016 and forward. With that, I want to give the welcome to the network and to your homes to Jacqueline Hopper, who will be starting a new show this coming Tuesday at 10 a.m. called The Sovereign Soul. Welcome,
Mm.
Jacqueline. Welcome to the Spanglish World family. We look forward to seeing your show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to be a part of the family. It's been a long time that we've been manifesting something beautiful like this. So we're really excited to be a part of this.
So, Jacqueline, I always start in a very basic way because we are a friendly bunch here at Spanglish. And
Mhm.
we always like to find out more about who the personalities that run these shows are and host these shows are. So give us a little bit of a background on you and how everything has evolved.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's like lifetimes in evolution, to be honest. But I'm from upstate New York, born and raised upstate New York. We're about 2.5 hours north of the city. I have four incredible kids. My youngest are 8-year-old twins. So I know what it takes to balance the home stuff, the self stuff, and the business stuff. Things evolve for me. I would say 15 years ago when my spiritual journey started. I was in a space where I questioned a lot. I needed no answers, right? Like, what are we here for? What are we doing? Why is this a point? It can't be just get up and, go to work, make some money, and then come back home. Like, there's got to be something to this. And as I explored the universe and as I explored more about spirituality, there was just so much that came my way that supported the idea, the knowing really that I wasn't alone. And my business started about 8 years ago, and it's just taken off from there. I'm a best-selling author, internationally best-selling author. The Sovereign Soul was originally a podcast until we met you, and now it's going to be streamed on Roku and Hulu and all these amazing spaces. So it's time to get Spirit's message out in a big, big way. And we've helped thousands, and now we get to help millions. So we're really excited.
So the sovereign soul, geez,
Mhm.
uh, interesting. The world of spirituality is something that I have tried to get in touch with,
Mhm.
especially when you are, you know, going through losses or you are trying to think about where you're in what point in your life you are.
Mhm.
uh, a lot of people are skeptic that it doesn't exist, that
Mhm.
it's just mumbo jumbo. But
Mhm.
how would you describe this to people in
Mhm.
a better way to make it understanding?
Absolutely. You know what? I joke often. I did readings for a lot of people at one point, and there would be some that would be skeptical. And my job isn't to make them believe in any way, shape, or form. That's not my job. My job is to hold space. And what I mean by that is to create an intention for people to be able to feel something within my presence that then allows them to see that something beyond them, beyond even me, exists. And the sovereign soul, sovereignty is our ability to have control or dominion or power over something. And that something is our life's journey as a self mastery guide, guiding people towards the realization of their intuition, the realization of their psychic gifts, because my belief is that we all have them, we all possess them. We might not know how to use them, we might not know what that looks like. And there's a lot of people that confuse intuition with psychic abilities. But I believe we all possess these capabilities. And so it's important for me to be a guide in this world for people to see those things. I also firmly, through my bones, believe that we can heal ourselves. And I've seen it time and time again for those that are tapped into religion. You've got your respected books that teach you about healing and the ways in which, it's been uncovered and taught and all of the things which are beautiful, beautiful pieces and beautiful tools. But that didn't end in those books. It continues to this day. There is something greater than us that exists. You can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it infinite intelligence, but that something that exists is what we are in a body. And so my mission, my work, especially that of spirit that works with me, is to get that message out and to help as many people as we can connect to that for themselves. Because the moment that you connect to it for yourself, you understand what held you back, you understand how you can heal to move forward, and you're tapped into the greatest power of manifestation.
So, you know, and it's funny that you're talking about this type of thing because it plays a great psyche in everybody's life.
Mhm,
People have intuitions about everything, uh,
mhm,
anything that can materialize. And I just came out of very hard loss of a family member,
mhm.
and for the last month I've been tapping into my spiritual side to try to figure out what's the next step.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you think that you see things, you think that
Mhm.
you uh, were connected to something,
Yeah.
but then your mind plays a trick on you and says reality is one thing and what you want to feel is another.
Mm.
And how how do you, uh, as a very intuitive person, very knowledgeable person, deal with those kind of situations when you're talking, uh, dealing with customers or
Yeah.
people?
With clients. Yeah, so I work one-on-one with people in very close, tight, programs to develop their gifts and to develop their intuition and their ability to connect to energy. And, what you've been through really over the past few years, as they show it to me, over the past few years has really started the questioning within you on what exists and is there something that happens after we pass, after we transition over. What is that? What does it look like? And how can I stay connected to my loved ones when they transition? And the truth is, if we believe that we are energy first and foremost, if we believe that energy called spirit is spirit because it's in a body, that can't be created or destroyed, as Albert Einstein said, energy can't be created or destroyed, it just takes on new form, right? And so that's what we do, we take on new form if you believe in incarnation, reincarnation, as I do. And so this beautiful soul that was once an uncle or a father or a grandparent, still around us in energy. We've been conditioned to only believe what we see with our eyes. So if I can't see it with my physical eyes, it doesn't exist. And that's a lot of misconception because that's not true. You can walk into a room and get to know someone and you feel them to be a kind person, a funny person, an interesting person, or someone that might feel a bit sad or anxious. You're not seeing anything with your physical eyes. You're actually feeling it with your senses. We would call it clairsentient. And so that's one of the ways that you can connect or feel the presence of a loved one when they're there. Now, I have grandparents that have transitioned, and I see them in signs. My grandmother's a cardinal. My grandfather's a blue jay. He loved the Blue Jays. He loved the Dodgers, right? And so he, when I am by myself or when I am, sitting outside in nature, often those signs come. And what it does is reminds me of that being, and you feel connected in that moment. And often our loved ones will show us these signs to let us know that we aren't alone, to let us know that they're still there, and to remind us of the love we shared while they were here in the physical world.
So it's funny because I'll just touch on certain little topics because uh, supernatural intuition, what how we want to call it, how many people want to call it, has been shown not just in reality. I mean, there is many people that have been mediums that understand this supernatural, but
Mhm.
it has been brought by Hollywood in
Yeah.
multiple movies.
Mhm.
I come from the baseball world, and
Mhm.
it reminds me of a movie called Major League. In Major
Yes.
League, there was a player that looked at the supernatural from his own way through black magic or whatever, and then you had the main character that was going out with a medium, and
Mhm.
she would tell him how to dress, how to act, so that his production in the baseball field came out. And
Mhm.
I don't think there is more supernatural believers in this world than an athlete. An athlete
Mhm.
goes through a routine
Yeah.
of spiritual uh, embodiment to try
Yes.
to produce.
It's not just an athlete. It's but I love this example, but it's not just an athlete. You could have I've done work with opera singers. And, in that moment, he said, I don't know what took over, but I was in the zone. I don't know what took over, but this rush of feeling came through. That's the inner being. That's the inner being. You can call it the higher self. You can call it the Holy Spirit. Like that is all the same thing, different jargon. But that's what floods our existence because it wants to feel this expression when we are in our purpose and at our most joyous moment. Right now, speaking to you, I can feel that pulsating through my body because this is what I'm here to do. And as an athlete, right there, on I'm going to totally botch this and everyone's going to laugh at me. I'm going to get hate mail. Right on the line, you're about to throw the ball, you're in that zone and you're connected to the hoop or you're connected, to your whoever's going to you're going to pass it to them, down the football field or whatever. Oh my god, I'm botching this, but you know what I mean. You're in this zone and the energy is so palpable. You don't hear the fans as they're getting loud. You don't hear the things that are being shouted or the music even that's playing in the back. You don't hear any of that. You are just zoned in. And that really is a spiritual moment. That's a moment of deep connection to self and to purpose and to what it is that you are, here to do. And yeah, you're right. Athletes have this beautiful ability and often speak on it. And it's in those moments too, they're reminding me of, um, oh, you're going to know what is his name? There was a quarterback that went on to ESPN and he was talking about his experience with ayahuasca. Aaron Rodgers. Thank you. My son's over here taking pictures. I love you. Thank you, buddy. It was Aaron Rodgers, and he was talking about his experience with ayahuasca. And like he attributes this deeper wanting to know more, deeper connection to something more because of what he experienced on the field, and because of how it helped him become more present and in a zone on the field. Meditation helps athletes, mindset work help athletes, the visualization helps athletes, but it's not just this area. It's, anyone that's really connecting to something that's giving them great purpose here.
Yeah, I mean, incredible to see, and I know a lot of people when it comes to speech making, or they they have to zone into something
Yep.
that drives them because they are not good at it
Yep.
outside.
Yeah.
But the idea of having powers,
Hmm.
having, and I don't call them powers because they are not powers, they are god-given talents, let's put it that way.
Hmm.
uh, it's something that people don't never zone in on. uh,
Hmm.
they you know, in the olden days, if you were a lefty, if you wrote with your left hand or you did anything with your left hand, it was considered an omen,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
because that was the way people that came from the old country used to vision.
Hmm.
You should be a righty because that's the natural thing to be.
Right.
Anything opposite is not good.
Right.
And it has been proven wrong. A lot of the
Hmm.
lefties that were converted to being righties
Hmm.
are very successful because they have that power of uh, thinking in other aspects.
Yes. Yes, 100%. 100%. And it's interesting that you're differentiating between the talent, God-given gift, and power. And I like that because it is very easy to say that these are spiritual powers, that these are intuitive powers, that these are psychic powers. And what I see power as is more of our ability to choose how we want to use our energy, right? We can use our energy for worry, we can use our energy for fear, we can use our energy for, things that create, tension within our bodies, or we can use our power to choose things that feel good, to choose things that help us feel empowered and happy and joyous, right? And yes, the spiritual aspect, the psychic, the intuitive, the healer, is all something we're tapped into. It's all something that we were gifted. And it's something Jesus tried to teach us as well. And still to this day, depending on what you connect with and read and things of that nature, I mean, he refers to us as equals because he believed that we could do the same thing that he did. And that's a very powerful thing in and of itself because it takes him off of a pedestal and it helps us see that we are at that level as well, that we are very easily able to use these gifts to support our thriving here in the physical world.
So there is people that do it in different ways. uh,
Hmm.
I'll just explain, give you an example, because in New York there was a very wise man within the Jewish community.
Hmm.
He was known as the Rebbe. In the
Hmm.
in He lived in Brooklyn Heights, and uh, people lined up all for hours outside his house to hear his wisdom in
Yeah.
private.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people. I lined up for
Hmm.
16 and a half hours on a muggy weekend
Hmm.
for just to hear him say something that would elevate me spiritually.
Yes. Okay. I like this. Keep going. This is so good.
And the amazing thing was that I was not just lifted spiritually, but it, he surprised me.
Hmm.
I had I was talking with people in front of in the line, but in front of me, but I didn't reveal any information about myself to anybody.
Hmm.
When I walked into that room where he was, the first thing he says, "You are the grandson of a great man."
Hmm.
And I said, "What do you mean?" And he started telling me the history of my great grandfather.
Mm.
And he knew stuff that only myself or any of my family members would know about him.
Mhm, mhm,
And then he started mentioning things that have happened in my life
mhm,
in relation, and you see, and you start wondering to yourself, hold on, how does this man know what he's saying?
mhm,
And till this day, one of the things that he used to do when you left after having a session with him was he gave you a silver dollar,
Mm,
and anyone who had the honor of being in his presence, he has a silver dollar. I still have that silver dollar, and I can tell you every time that I grab that dollar, that coin, it's like pressure is being relieved of my body.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of that is your belief in how powerful he was, and your belief in the ability, trusting in that ability of his healing ways, of his wisdom, and that's again using Jesus as another example as well. I mean, that's what he possessed as well. The ability to really hold space for someone with such love and with such intention for them to be healed that when you're in their zone, in their energy, you believe this, you feel this, and you are rectified because of it. It isn't actually something someone else can do. We can't heal anybody else. But I can hold a presence of love to such a level and such a degree that when you're with me, you can feel energy moving around you, and you can feel yourself begin to surrender, and you can feel yourself start coming into alignment, as we say, with the energy that is you. And when you're in that alignment, that's when we believe that all things are possible. And that's when we see the materialization in the physical world of the things that we desire. And so I love that example because, it speaks to, your willingness to learn, right? Many people, they just shy away from it. And psychic, for example, has gotten a really bad rap. Psychics can predict the future. They prophesize the future. I mean, this is a negative thing in some cultures and some mindsets, and that's okay. I don't use my gift to just do that. I use my gift to also support people where they're held up within their energy, to be able to feel into the grief that they have and how to help them alleviate that so that they can be open to receiving more. I think it's a matter of how we use our gifts and the intention behind it. And if we're using it for the highest good and within the energy of the divine, the light, right? To make sure that what we put out energetically is supported and supports somebody else in being able to come into the knowledge of who they really are, why they're really here, and how powerful they actually are.
We have comments coming in from social media.
Ah, that's so good.
So
I
Rachel
love that.
Bruno is here.
Rachel Bruno. Yeah,
You know,
that's so good.
so let's talk a little bit more about your show, what we
Mhm.
can expect to have, and what we can expect to you are bringing to the table.
I'm bringing it all to the table. I am really excited about this opportunity. And one of the things that I love to do most is connect deeply with other people. Spirit moves through us all. And so my connecting with you is a spiritual experience, getting to see God in your form. And so bringing on people that have, inspired, or have inspiration within their story or choose to use their story to inspire others as well. I mean, this is what we're going to be doing with the Sovereign Soul. I have an incredible team that has worked um, so many hours to find, those that are aligned with the message of the sovereignty that we want to really deliver and helping other people expand their consciousness. And so we've got some really incredible guests that will be joining us. And I really want the Sovereign Soul podcast, now a TV experience, to be something people go to when they need a reset, when they need to reconnect to the love they hold within and the acknowledgement of their power within. And yeah, just to again remind people that they're not alone. That's I wanted to affect the life of one person when I started my business. One person. If I could change one person's life, my mission was accomplished. And like I said in the beginning, it wasn't just one person. It wasn't just hundreds of people. It's been thousands, and now we get to do millions. Yay! Hi, Sharon. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love you. I'm holding it together, and these amazing comments will make me cry. Thank you. Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate you. These are some incredible people. I love this. Yeah,
So,
this is awesome.
it's it's funny to see that there how can I define spirituality doesn't have to come through a person. It doesn't have to come through anything. It's something that it's in deep in your heart.
Mhm, yes.
How you utilize that gift of love, because that's what spirituality is.
Yes.
It's not about how you see what you don't see. It's about the love that you bring through that spirituality.
Hmm.
And you know in the olden days we used to say that it was, I mean, I remember my mom saying, you cannot believe in those people. And I said,
Hmm.
what people? I said, you come
Hmm.
from a country. So my mom is originally from Transylvania, in
Hmm.
the middle of Romania. And
Yeah.
I said, those people are your people. You're telling me not to believe in them? So
Mhm.
she goes, so one of the things that I always told her is that people that have a different belief system or have a, a way of looking at things from the outside in your
Hmm.
life
Hmm.
are great people, because they can help you out, uh, define different things that you are not seeing.
Hmm.
In the business world, we call them mentors.
Yes.
We call them coaches. In the spiritual world, they are mediums. They are people that understand things more intriguingly, and that spend their life analyzing different things. And it's interesting. And just to give you a little bit of background, we did have, as I told you before, I think we used to have another person that was also a medium that did a show with us. Unfortunately, uh, she had to leave, but it was amazing to see how many people actually tuned into that show
Hmm.
because they wanted her opinion on what was going on in their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and but why is that? And Spirit's like, but why is that? Like, come on, Jackie, talk about that. Thank you. The reason why that is because we feel a sense of loss at times. We feel a sense of loneliness at times. There are many things in this physical experience that are hard. I believe our soul came here for the duality, and our soul came here for the contrast. And it knew that it was going to be a lesson here. We would have a journey called life that would teach us how to grow as a soul. But somehow we got here and we were like, oh shit. Like I'm not just going to learn these lessons, but I'm going to have a body that has all of these senses that in the spiritual realm you don't have that. You can't hug someone, you can't touch someone, you can't kiss someone, you can't smell things, you can't feel things or taste things. Like you don't have that. And so this was like sensory overload. And then we are such a divine essence of love, as you said, that when we see harshness here in the world, which is, in my opinion, what I teach is that it's just the absence of love and a call for love. When you see things like terrorist actions and things of that nature, this is a call for love. And what do you have? You have warriors that come up and warriors that hold the space of love so that people can do some healing, right? And so, like, it's timely. But Thank you. That's what they're reminding me of. A medium is often referred to as somebody that can channel or connect to a deceased or departed loved one. A psychic is someone that reads the energy of the external experience. An intuitive is one that understands what's going on about themselves. So, intuition is internal, me understanding the energy that's going on around me, my business, my kids, my partner, my stuff. A psychic talks about what's not theirs and sees for someone else, sees what's going on around, but without an attachment. Intuition is different. And a medium is someone that can channel deceased and departed loved ones. And so while we can do all of that, and we do all of that, my greatest hope and my greatest mission for this TV show is to really get the message of spirit out that you're not alone. and that you possess these abilities, and that should you choose, that's your power. Here you have free will in the physical world. God gave us free will. We had the ability to choose. If you decide to deepen those and take that journey of self mastery, is what we call it. I don't look at myself as a mentor. I used to. And I don't look at myself as a coach. I used to. I look at myself as a guide. I want to guide people because you don't need to be told what to do. You need to be supported in remembering what you know. So we guide people towards the realization of their gifts, their power, what their potential is here in the physical world. And when I work with people one on one, I hold that space until they see it, feel it, or realize it for themselves. All I do is hold that space. And it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful experience. And it's created these amazing freaking humans that didn't have to show up to support today. And they are. And it's because of spirit and what spirit, allows me to hold space for.
So one of the things, one of the things that always has driven me to this side to understand the occult, as they say,
Mhm.
is the idea that you want to understand why things happen, why
Mhm.
things are more evolved than they appear to be. And again, I'll bring another anecdote of I have been married almost 25 years now, but the beginning of our relationship with my wife was very tough because one, uh, her family was away, uh, was not close to us, and then her father passed away. My father-in-law passed away all the sudden, and we had to we went for the funeral, and it's and I don't know why it happened to me. I will not never understand that, but it did happen, and I know what I saw, and I know what I felt. And one of the things it's interesting was that you know I that every single night for about 2 weeks I felt doors open and close.
Mhm.
I was sleeping in the room in the bottom, and I felt the door to the kitchen open and the door to the kitchen close. And one of the nights I decided, you know what, I want to stand up and see what the hell is going on because it's scaring the living crap out of me. And as I am opening the door into the living room, my father-in-law had always, every time that he woke up in the early times in the morning, he would stand by the window facing the street, looking out to see who went by.
Mhm.
And as I opened the door into the living room, I saw his shadow. For about a week and a half, I kept seeing his shadow standing at the window looking outside.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to my wife, and she said, "You're crazy."
Mm.
I said, "You are." She was, there is no way. And I said, "Look, I don't know what it is, what the message is, if he's trying to relay a message or not, but I believe that this is his way of saying that that we are protected, that he will
Yeah.
always be here with us."
Absolutely. 100%. That's exactly what it means. Often loved ones will relay that message. I don't want to use urgency as like in a negative way, urgency, but urgently because they pass suddenly or unexpectedly to us here in the physical world. And so sometimes our loved ones come forward to let us know that they're okay, to let us know that there isn't a need to fear or a need to worry, and that they are guiding us or protecting us or loving us, on from the other side. And so I have no doubt it's not interesting actually, but when we are as close as your wife was to her dad, it's harder for us to feel the love of a loved one present. because we're grieving, and that's a heavier vibration of energy. For those of us that aren't necessarily connected that deeply, like you, although you loved your father in law, it's a different type of a relationship. And you were able to hold that space. You were a path of least resistance, as they're saying, to make sure that the message was received, that he was okay, and that you were as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange because it happens in different timings. It happens in different ways,
Yeah.
and people, you know, some people would say, you know, tell you, "Oh, I'm going crazy because I'm seeing things."
Mhm. Yeah.
But no, it's a way to define. It's a message being sent, whether it's, you know, it's a way of the upper powers telling you you'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. My dad was actually involved in a car accident, about a month and a half ago, and he was, trying to take a U-turn, and somebody ran the red light and just literally ran right face first into him, 55 miles an hour, and, my dad, completely disoriented, did not like, knew what happened, but didn't, almost at the same time. And he said to me, I had this statue of Saint Joseph that I would have to prop up with this little puddle of lotion on the dash. And he said, I don't remember where it came from. I just know that I had it, and I know that it was important. And so I left it right there to, to protect me and to oversee. And he said when they went to look at his van, when they opened the back door, everything was in disarray. Everything, the shelving that was bolted to the side of the vehicle was actually crinkled, crumpled, like all over the place. And right on the dashboard, standing tall as could be without any support, was the statue of St. Joseph. And my father walked away, definitely should have had injury. Complete. He didn't have a seatbelt on. We're here to tell dad again to make sure you put your seatbelt on, pal. But he didn't have a seatbelt on, and definitely should. I mean, if you saw this van, it's a miracle in and of itself that he walked away without any really serious injuries. And so I know without doubt that he was protected that day. I know without doubt that that was Spirit's way of reminding him he was protected that day, because he said, as soon as I saw it, it just gave me chills, because he knew how he needed to prop it up on the dashboard. And it was not in any way, shape, or form propped up. It was just standing up. And there's many, 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 many examples that we all have of this, that I can recall in my life, that we just kind of dismiss until we start minding it or having an awareness of it. And then we can see how active spirit really is in our lives. It's absolutely incredible. It's fascinating to me. I have always, wanted to know more. And I am such a seeker. I'm such a seeker. Anything spirit stuff, I'm there. I want to read the book. I want to have the experience. I want to show up and listen. I want to be the person that it's flowing through. And that's why this is an incredible opportunity and way to do so. The show is not just going to be an impact for myself, it's going to be an impact for my community, for people that I am connected to who have that voice that needs to be heard. And it's going to be a platform that allows that to happen. And with everything that you've got behind the scenes that you're working on as well, I believe it's going to add a lot of value to the people that the people that you come up into connection with, and the projects that you really want to bring forth to the world. It's your show. You can share all that stuff. I won't do that for you. But there's just big things. I mean, from the moment I met you, I could tell energy was so connected, especially with your mission and how you view things in journalism, and supporting women and being able to speak and share their stuff. Like, yes, all of it's yes for me. You know what I mean? And being able to be of support of that and do good by this network, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do.
So you mentioned reading. You mentioned, you know, always being informed.
Hmm.
If someone wanted to read more about spirituality, about, you know, these powers that we have, that we have to uncover,
Sure.
what books would you recommend to people to start reading so that they understand uh, what this is all about?
Yeah, well, becoming a journey to discovering inner peace. That's my book, my best-selling book. You could definitely start there, and that you can find at jacquelinehopper.com/book. It's at Amazon, so you can go to Amazon and you can purchase it from there on the Kindle. You can also go to Audible because it's an audiobook as well. So definitely want to go and check out my first book. My second book is in the works, and so everybody that is listening to the show or watching the show, you'll learn when that comes out. But that's a beautiful piece that we really wanted to put out into the world. I had an amazing experience during a situation with my brother who had a medical experience, and so that's in the book, and share a lot about my vision in that and the healing journey he was on, and just how spirit shows up and what its message is for each and every one of us. So becoming would be a book that I would venture into. Getting in my space as well is going to be another really great way to start learning about yourself, and the journey of self mastery that you are on. The journey of self mastery began the day you became present, and it'll end the day you transition. And it's your soul's evolution, and helping you with that is my goal. So you could always, check out the social media stuff and find me that way.
So talking about social media,
Mhm.
where can people find you in social media? Because it's important for people to get connected.
Yes, absolutely. So jacquelinehopper.com is the website, and that's definitely where you can go find out everything that we do. Facebook, you can find me on Facebook at Jacqueline Hopper, Instagram at Jacqueline Hopper. The team's going to kick my butt. We're on YouTube as well at Jacqueline Hopper. Twitter, I think it's at Jackie Hopper, Jackie_Hopper. Anywhere and everywhere. Pinterest, LinkedIn, you'll find me. Absolutely. My most active is Facebook. We do a lot of lives. I have a free community called Embracing Self Mastery. That's a free Facebook group where people can come in and engage. We do a lot of channeling in that space as well. We'll be doing some of that on the show, which I'm so friggin' pumped and excited about. But that's another area that people can get into to learn more.
So let's give them a little bit of a hint as to who we can expect in this show coming up. This first show and the shows
Yeah.
coming up in the month of October.
Yeah, so the month of October, you're going to get me, myself, and I on October 3rd, as we invite you in to the experience that we are wanting to create for you. You're going to get to know more about my journey. You're going to get to know more about your journey, and we're going to be holding space for you solo to introduce the show. On the second Tuesday of October, my best friend, Christina Aroche Weinert, will be joining us, and she is an Archangel channel. She's got some incredible insights to share, and we're going to be chit chatting like girlfriends do, and you'll just feel like you're at the coffee table having a conversation. And then the third week of October, I am stoked. We have Mr. Howard Falco coming on to talk about mindset, all of his incredible creations, and his impact in the sports world as well. I'm really stoked to have that conversation with him, because it's until I met you, Eduardo, I hadn't ventured into the sports side of things, but having met you and having spoken to you and having, a bead on what you're working on, man, oh man, oh man, am I excited for this. I can't freaking wait. I can't wait to have a conversation with him. I can't wait to see where that goes. The fourth week of October, we're going to keep that one a secret, because that one I really want to be a surprise. It's definitely going to be something exciting and interesting. So yeah, we've got a really great lineup, a really great lineup.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see the following. It's interesting to see also that people are going people are going to be very surprised by this show, because I think that they are going to uncover things of themselves that they haven't really thought about.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, that's the mission. That's the mission. Um, that's the mission. That's what we've been tasked with, Eduardo. Like, that's what we've been tasked with, and, like I said, I have an incredible team, that's on the hunt for the most, interesting and most amazing souls, where we can pull that out of them as well and deliver it, so we can touch as many lives as we can. Yeah, we're not here to change minds. I'm not here to change minds. I'm here to change hearts.
Let's see if we
I'm
can
here to change.
let's see if we can change the shape of November
Yeah.
for everybody. It's an
Yeah.
important month in the US.
Yeah.
So let's try to focus on goodwill and good
Yeah.
power and
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
sensation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be exciting, it's gonna be fun, I think that it's going to lead to a lot of other incredible opportunities for others, myself included, and that's really what any piece of work I put out is meant to do. We've got a lot of things, in the hopper, so to speak, no pun intended, that we're working on, and, this is definitely gonna be a beautiful medium itself to deliver, the support that people are in need of now more than ever. Now more than ever. We are seeing a lot of identity crisis in the world, and it's because we are starting to take our power back, to question authority, to question the patriarchal system, and to really start to understand what we want. What do we believe in? And I'm here to support people with uncovering that because that's the greatest power you will ever enter into is the one that you feel from within and connect to from within.
Let's see if we can figure out kids, because kids these days are too disconnected. I mean, it's really
Mm.
really to think. I mean, they are connected, but in a different.
Yeah, I love you. I love you, Eduardo. You're gonna learn like everybody that knows me, they're like, oh, here she goes. When I start with I love you, Eduardo, or I love you, but like I honestly I would say I don't believe that. I believe kids are more connected these days than ever. And I think that the generation coming in is here to teach us something really, really important. And if we are conscious parents, shout out to Joe Peters and MomFit TV. We got to speak about conscious parenting over there on the network. And I believe if we are conscious parents and if we do our work as parents to support and not dominate our children, they're going to teach us some of the greatest freaking lessons in the world. I think they're here to start shifting and changing the way we're showing up, to start questioning the way that we've been conditioned all this time. I think our kids are here to really start molding a new world, and I'm excited for it. I'm here to support that. Yes, the disconnection in our children that is leading to the scary mental health situations, that of course we're going to address because I want to help people understand what it really is so that there isn't the helplessness and so that there actually is more empowerment around it.
That's amazing, amazing, amazing. Jacqueline, I want to thank you very much for being here, for joining our network.
Yeah.
We look forward to a long, 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 long relationship here in the network and having you help a lot of people through the spiritual world. And with that, I want to remind everybody that this show can be heard across the Spanglish Radio Network and its affiliates on social media. Remember to go to our website, spanglishworld.ca, which currently is being revamped for so that we can actually transmit these shows and all the shows that we have on the website live. Uh, so we'll watch out because we are coming very very strong. Remember as well that uh, to follow us on all social media networks. We are there. We want to help. And remember, Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, but especially live it, because Spanglish World is your world, and we are
Mhm.
here to serve you and help you. Until the next time that we meet here on Open Forum, this has been Eduardo Harari with Jacqueline Hopper, the host of The Sovereign Soul, debuting, doing its debut on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
Until then,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much and have a great, great weekend.